Physical literacy, why is it a must today? So I'm going to put some pictures up there, and I want you to look at these pictures. And these pictures are from kids playing in the 50s, late 50s, early 60s. So I want you to look at these pictures and tell me, what do you see that you would not see today? They're actually outside. What a concept. What else? Unstructured. What else? No electronics. No one has a phone. What else? No. Not supervised. No fancy equipment. Black and white. Good one. What else? Anything else that's weird or different? No adults. They're active. They're happy. Now look at the picture, the top left. Oh, no obesity, that's a good one. But look top left, they're in the street. You would never see that today. Look in the middle. These kids are playing in a dump, right? So there was a different aversion to danger. There's a different perception of how kids actually would be safe playing by themselves. I use these pictures because for me, the village taught me how to move. Okay, I ended up playing high-level sports. I played junior hockey, senior lacrosse, and college football. But when I was young, I learned through other kids. What does that mean? Well, I went outside, and there usually was a bunch of kids playing. And if they played kick the can, remember that game? It was a fun game. If they played kick the can, what I would do is I would look at the older kids and see what they were doing and do the same. So by watching older kids, I would learn to kick, run, weave, do whatever. If the game was crowd baseball, same thing. I would watch the kids and I try on my own when they allow me to do it, and then I would learn to hit the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball. So coaches didn't teach me these things. Coaches did not teach me how to move. The village did. But things have changed today. Don't get fooled. Kids still have the intrinsic desire and need to play. The only thing that has changed is the games they play. It's not like the desire to play has gone away. And you know what? They still learn from other kids. The only difference is that their games have moved from the outside to the inside, from active to inactive. So you still kids learning through other kids. Oh, how did you get to that level on Minecraft? Right? It's the same thing. But the games have changed. And also, I can tell that some of you are thinking, well, just tell the kid to go outside. You try that and it doesn't work. You know why? Because they were not raised that way. It's not part of their fabric. And when they go outside, there's two things that happen. There's no other kids, and they don't know what to do. They get their phones out. I'm lucky I live in Banff. Our kids play outside. But I tell you go into big cities, it's not the norm anymore. Do you relate to that? There isn't anyone on the street. You know, the outcome of this is pretty dramatic. Some experts say that the generation of kids today is the most inactive ever. Now, we're not just talking the last 20 years, the last 30 years, we're talking the least active ever. And that's a problem. We've evolved moving. We were designed to move. We're born to move. And it's very simple. When you don't move, something goes wrong. Mentally, physically, socially, we're designed to move. And kids today don't move. They're the most inactive because they don't learn to move. And what's of interest to us, and you would know this in hockey as well, is many of them don't move as much as they used to because they specialize too early. I was coaching Adam hockey last year. Dad comes to me. My son is a natural center. He's 8. No, he's a natural center. He doesn't do anything else. Okay, he doesn't play at our position. No, he doesn't do anything else. What do you mean? He only does hockey. But he's 8. Yeah, he's going to be good. So they specialize too early, and that's what we're seeing everywhere in every sport. Now, one of the solutions that has been brought forward is called physical literacy. Now, if you think a bit about the concept of physical literacy, it's interesting. It's two words that don't work together, really, physical and literacy. But also think 30 years back, or 20 years, or 50 years. There was no word to describe physical literacy because it wasn't needed. Do you understand what I'm saying by this? 25 years ago, you did not need to invent a concept called physical literacy because kids learn to move. So now we had to create a word to describe the fact that kids need to learn to move. It's crazy, but it's needed. So physical literacy is very simple. So when kids learn early in life the skills they need to move for a lifetime. And it's very simple at the onset. There's some studies from the UK that show that kids that are 4 years old are behind in their walking and crawling skills. So we're not talking about, skating backward or throwing a ball. We're talking about very fundamental skills. And I know this to be true because, for example, in my work with the Banff Hockey Academy, over the last 22 years, I can tell you one thing. 22 years ago, the kid we got were good athletes. Now they're pretty good hockey players, but they show up and some of them can even throw a ball. When I grew up, if you want a winning team in any sport, basketball, baseball, football, you know what you did? You gathered up all the hockey players and you would win every game because the best athletes were all hockey players. It's not the case anymore. So, to explain a bit better what I mean by the competence, confidence, and motivation to move, imagine you got a little girl and she grew up not learning to move. So she never really played much games when she was younger. She doesn't really know how to throw a ball. She can't run that well. And she can't really catch a ball. Then imagine that she's in the schoolyard and there's a game of, what do you call that thing when you try to kill someone with a ball there? Dodgeball. So she's coaxed into playing, right? And she's a bit awkward and she's standing there. Someone gives her the ball and says, okay, throw it. And she takes a few steps, she throws awkwardly and she falls. What happens to her? She would be made fun of, right? So what would happen with her desire to play any game that involves a ball? Gone. That's it. Big X. She won't play softball, she won't play football or anything like that because she had a really bad experience when she was younger. And the reason she had a bad experience because she did not have the skills. Now, if on top of it she can't swim, she can't run that well, that's it. She will most likely be inactive for life. That's what's happening today. Kids are not learning early, they're not developing physical literacy, therefore they become inactive for life. Does that make sense? Now, there are benefits. It's not just to produce better hockey players. This little diagram we took from the Aspen Institute, a report they did about Sport for All. And the bottom line is this. When kids develop physical literacy, they are more likely to be active. And then you see the benefits of being active. Less obesity, higher test scores at school, less drugs, smoking, etc. More likely to go to college, higher annual earnings, lower health costs, and so on and so on. But then there's a cycle of it. Active kids turn into active parents. Kids of active parents are more likely to be active. And the cycle goes on and on and on. And that's why at Active for Life, and that's why at B210, we made a commitment to develop the concept and share the concept and spread the concept of physical literacy.